You know the autocomplete on your phone? The dumb little thing that finishes your texts and is usually wrong? The AI everyone's losing their minds over is that. The exact same trick. It just practiced a few 100 billion times more than your phone did. The thing you call AI is a stickman who read the entire internet, remembers none of it, and is freakishly good at exactly one party trick. Meet Otto. Otto's entire job, the only thing he can do, is look at some text and guess the very next word. That's it. He's autocomplete that did way too much homework. Watch. I type, the sky is. Otto doesn't think. He just blurts the most likely next word, blue. Your phone keyboard does the baby version of this every day. So how does guessing one word become a whole chatbot? Sneaky trick. We hand Otto a tiny movie script with two characters, user and helpful AI. You type the user's line. Then we ask him the only question he understands. What would a helpful AI say next? He guesses a word, then the next, then the next. He's not answering you. He's finishing a script. The AI assistant is a character Otto is playing. There is no one in there. It's a stickman doing an impression of a helpful robot, one word at a time. And he doesn't pick just one word. At every step, he scores every word in the language with odds. Blue, 80%. Falling, 5. Banana, basically, never. Then, and this is the trick that stops him sounding like a broken parrot. He rolls a little dice, and sometimes picks a less obvious word. That tiny bit of randomness is why asking the same question twice gives you two different answers. So Otto is half statistician, half gambler. Reads the room, then rolls the dice. Every single word. So where did he learn the odds? He read. A lot. To build one of these things, you feed it a mountain of text. Basically the entire internet. How big a mountain? Reading just what trained an older model, GPT-3, non-stop, no sleeping, no eating, would take you over 2,600 years. The newer ones read far more. Otto has skimmed more words than every human you'll ever meet combined, times 1,000, and kept the vibe of all of it while understanding none of it. Honestly, a little relatable. So what is Otto, physically? He's a giant wall of tiny dials, knobs, hundreds of billions of them. Each knob is just a little number, and together they decide every guess he makes. Turn them one way, he writes poetry. Turn them another, he writes pure nonsense. And here's the wild part. No human set those knobs. Nobody. There are too many. A person turning one knob per second would still be turning them long after the sun burns out. So how do the knobs get set? Otto sets them himself, by failing, trillions of times. It's the most aggressive game of hotter colder ever played. We show him a real sentence with the last word hidden. He guesses, we reveal the answer. If he's wrong, a process gently nudges every single knob a hair toward less wrong. Do that over millions of sentences. No, trillions. Slowly the random gibberish machine turns into something that finishes sentences eerily well, even ones it has never seen. Nobody taught him grammar, or facts, or jokes. He reverse engineered all of it from a trillion tiny oops, try agains. That nudge has a name, backpropagation, if you ever want to sound dangerous at a party. How much math is all that? Picture you doing a billion additions every second by hand. Inhuman speed. Ready? Go. To finish the math behind training one big model at a billion sums a second, you'd be there for over 100 million years. The dinosaurs would come, go, and come back. We don't wait 100 million years because we cheat with special chips called GPUs that do a zillion little sums all at once instead of one after another, brute force, in parallel. But raw Otto, fresh off the internet, is a feral goblin. Ask him a question and he might answer it, or fire back 3 more questions, or a pizza ad. He learned to imitate the internet, and the internet is unhinged. So we tame him. Humans chat with him and give thumbs up or thumbs down. Good answer. No, gross. Be nicer. Those votes tweak the knobs again, this time toward helpful instead of chaos. That's the whole gap between a thing that drowns you in internet sludge and a thing that says, sure, here are 3 tips. Manners, beaten in by humans. It's polish, not brains. One last piece, because it's the secret sauce. Older AIs read like you do, one word at a time, left to right, painfully slow. Then, in 2017, some Google researchers built a new design called the transformer. Its trick, don't read word by word. Inhale the whole sentence at once, all in parallel. But a computer can't taste words, only numbers. So step 1, every word gets turned into a long list of numbers. Think of it as that word's GPS coordinates on a giant map of meaning. On that map, king and queen live right next door. Banana lives very far away, being a banana. Then comes the magic move. It's literally called attention. All the words turn and gossip with each other to sort out the context. Take the word bank. Alone, Otto has no clue, money bank or riverbank. So bank glances at its neighbors, sees fishing and river nearby. Riverbank. Its meaning gets quietly rewritten by its friends. Stack that gossip step over and over, and a pile of dumb number lists slowly sharpens into, I know exactly what this sentence is about. Then, finally, Otto makes his guess. And now, the genuinely spooky part. We designed the machine. We designed the training. But we did not design the behavior. Translating, joking, coding, even lying, nobody programmed those in. They just emerged. Out of a trillion knobs, nudged by a trillion mistakes. So when Otto gives a brilliant answer, or a confidently wrong one, the people who built him often can't tell you why. They can read every knob and still not know. They grew it. They can't fully read it. Here's the twist that should keep you up at night. Your brain also predicts the next word. It's half the reason you can finish other people's sentences. You felt that. The only difference? You know what the words mean. Otto is juggling empty symbols. You're holding the actual world they point to. So the most powerful mind on Earth read everything, understood nothing, and just guesses the next word. And it's already writing emails, code, and laws. But the unsettling part isn't how much it acts like a person. It's how much of a person acts like it. Because be honest, half of what you say all day is your brain grabbing the next likely word on autopilot too. So the real question was never, is it alive? It's how much of your day is already just a really good guess. And which part is the bit no machine can fake? Tell me below. I'll read the best ones.